Hi, I'm coming live to you again. Today it's Veterans Day, so I first of all want to wish everyone who has served our country a happy Veterans Day, and thank you so much for your service. Thank you for dedicating your life to serving our country, for fighting for all the freedoms that we are afforded when we live here in the great nation of the United States of America. A special shout out to my husband who served in the Army, and my brother who served in the Navy, and all my friends, my dear friends and loved ones who also served as well. Thank you so much for your service. Okay, so this morning I was thinking about something as I strolled through the little town that I live in, Sycamore. It's a quaint little town. Very old buildings and friendly people, and they even pipe music through little speakers throughout the town. It's really quaint, very cute. But I decided to go get a donut this morning to kind of wake me up. And as I strolled to the donut shop, I was thinking about all the chaos going on right now about the election results, and thinking about my life. And I just wanted to put something out there that I think people might need to hear. No, I don't know what it's like to be family living in the inner cities. I have no idea what that's like. I don't know, what it's like to be rejected based on my race. I don't know that. But here are some things that I do know, that I have actually lived, and I do know. I do know what it's like to go without for the sake of my children. I was a single mom twice in my life, and I scraped by with very little money. At one point I had lost my job, so I had no money, and so I would go without so my children could have. I do know what that's like, and it's not fun. I used to donate plasma at this place so I could buy groceries, or so I could get Christmas presents for my kids. And I can't tell you how awful it was when I would go in there and I would be rejected for my plasma because my iron levels were always too low. And I would just sit there feeling completely distraught, like, oh, how am I going to get money now? I have to wait another couple days to come back and try to give plasma and see if I can get my iron levels up. And it was discouraging, and it was made me fearful, and I hated it. Hated every minute of that. So I do know what that's like. I do know what it's like to fear for my life because of somebody hating me. That would be my second ex-husband. He was very physically abusive. So at one point in time, I had to call the police because he had my infant daughter locked in a bedroom with him and wouldn't let me in to feed her, and she was crying, and he was threatening me. So I had to call the police to let him, or make him open the door and let me get my daughter to safety. And I was too scared to leave because of all the threats he had given me before. And the police didn't necessarily say I could leave. I was afraid that I'd be in trouble for kidnapping if I left with my daughter. So I laid in my son's bedroom with the door locked, hoping and praying all night long that this maniac would not come in and kill me, because we had guns in the house. He was a hunter, and so was I. And so we had plenty of guns in the house. And I laid there shaking in my boots all night thinking, I wonder how much it hurts to get shot by a gun. I wonder if I'm going to survive the night. It was awful, and it brings tears to my eyes right now. I know what it's like to be that fearful and to fear for my life. I know what it's like to be pigeonholed because I was a single mom, and the first time I got divorced, I was living in this mostly white community, very snobby, rich community, and I didn't have any money. I had quit working, so, I didn't have a job, and I had my kids in a Catholic school. Talk about being shunned for what I did, even though it wasn't what I did that led to the divorce. It was mostly what my abusive husband did to me. But anyway, I got the divorce, and people would not even look at me or speak to me or say hi to me. And these were people I had known for a few years that had always said hi to me. But once I got divorced, it was like I had, leprosy or something. People stayed away from me. They didn't ask my kids to come play because my kids were different. They were probably one of 2 or 3 families in the entire school, grades K through 8, that had divorced parents at the time. And so my kids got made fun of and got shunned from their friends because their parents didn't want their little children to play with my children because of that. And it was awful. And I had to, try to cope with that and get my kids through it, and they were having a hard time. So I know what that's like. I know what it's like to not have support of a family. A lot of these kids in the inner cities grow up and they don't have family, so they turn to the streets, they turn to selling drugs, they turn to gangs because they don't have support of family. And I can tell you right now, I don't have the support of my family because of some choices I made in my life. And I'm proud of the choices that I made. Yes, some of them might have been stupid choices, but I've always picked myself up from my bootstraps and gone on with life and become a stronger and better woman because of the things I've gone through. And at one point, I did not have the support of my family when I was a single mom and decided to date somebody who I am actually now married to. And my family shunned me because of that choice, which they really had no right to do. They persecuted me because of his action. This is so stupid, but one of his actions was to post something on Facebook. How silly is that? That they got angry about because he was angry how they were treating me behind my back. And so they persecuted me because of what he did when we were dating. And, they went so far as to tell me I couldn't bring him, who was my only significant other at the time, the only rock that I had to lean on when my mom was dying. And they refused to let him come to the funeral. They were giving me a hard time about that and about my relationship. And so I lost the support of my family, and to this day still don't have it. I stood up for myself, and that's when they decided that enough was enough and they weren't going to continue a relationship with me. But I'm proud of standing up for myself, because in the past I was a doormat. I never stood up for myself, and that's why I was involved in 2 very abusive marriages. But now I stand up for myself. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my past, even though some of the things I did weren't so great. And a lot of things were. But I'm proud of what I did because it made me who I am today. And I think one of the lessons that we need to teach young children today is that they don't need to be victims of their circumstances. They don't need to be victims all their life because of something that happened to their parents or grandparents, great-grandparents, whatever. We have a lot of generational wounds that we all carry from our upbringing and so forth, that our parents carried from their upbringing and kind of gave to us. And we then spread those to our children. And it's time to stop that. It's time to stop being a victim and stand up for yourself, absolutely, like I did. But also know that you have choices. You can choose to be hateful, or you can choose to be loving. You can choose to be hopeful for a great future, or you can choose to stay a victim and then always be a victim. I changed my mindset long ago, a couple years ago, to stop being a victim, and it has immensely changed my life for the better. And so my message is just, if you're always feeling like life is giving you lemons, and shit happens to you all the time, and why me, poor me, oh, my life sucks, do something about it. Don't just sit there and dwell on what's wrong. Look for the blessings you have in life. Look for your strengths. You've got them in you. You know you do. Use those strengths to help you become better and get out of the situation you're in if you're in a bad situation. Basically, you create your reality. So if you're going to live your life hating people based on the color of their skin, your reality isn't going to be very positive. If you hate people because of what someone else did to you and you just associate them with that person, that's not fair. You should give everyone the benefit of the doubt. There's good people in the world, and there's people who want to help you, and there's people who will support you. But you can't be a victim anymore. Stop the victimhood. It's not easy to do. Trust me. It took me a long, long time to do, but it's not easy. But we all have that strength within us. And if you can't find the strength, ask God for the strength, because I truly believe God was there picking me up every time I fell down. And I've always leaned on my faith, and I've always trusted God's word and prayed and listened for answers, and my prayers have been answered, and they continue to be. And I continue to pray to God and thank God for the wonderful life I've had, even though some of it was actually really shitty. I thank God for everything that I've been through, for every day that I wake up and can do something else to help other people. I truly think that God's mission for me in life, because I've been through so much crap, is to help people who are going through crap and help them come to an understanding that, they don't have to live certain ways. They don't have to be depressed or be anxious or feel like life's not worth living, because I've been there. I mean, I totally was so depressed in high school that I didn't want to live anymore. And I would think of ways I could die so it would look like an accident, so I didn't shame my family. But that's how bad it was for me in high school. And I never reached out to anybody. This is the first time I've ever speaking those words to anybody. That's how I was, but I'm not that any longer. I am happy, and I feel so free and full of love and full of life. And I truly believe that all comes from God. He was there for me through all my dark times and all my good times. And I really trust that he will always be. And I'm hoping and praying that with 2017 coming upon us, that's going to be a new year, a year where people will come together and love each other rather than spread hatred and crime and violence among people. We're not supposed to do that to each other. We need to teach our kids that's not the right way to solve problems. You can't do things like that to people and expect people to respect you and honor you and love you. So I know I've been on a rant here, but I just wanted to send loving thoughts and prayers to anyone today who's struggling. I understand struggle, and if you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'm not trying to sell my services or anything. I truly just want to help people live a better life. That's my mission in life. That's my soul's purpose. Always has been. So if you're distressed or distraught or need advice or answers, please reach out to me, and I'd be happy to talk to you. I just wish and pray for peace in the world, peace in your hearts, and the right direction for our leaders, that they will be directed in their actions and things that they do to lead our world to a better place. Okay? I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.